Dangerous passion. Elena was a gifted violinist. Music flowed through her as effortlessly as air, each note she played resonating with the deepest chambers of the heart. When she played, the world seemed to stop and listen, and it was her escape, her solace. In her early 20s, Elena was invited to play with the prestigious Valencia Symphony Orchestra, a dream come true for any musician. The orchestra's conductor, Maestro Diego, was a legend in the music world. His reputation was impeccable, and he was known for bringing out the best in his musicians. From the moment Elena played her first note under his direction, Maestro Diego was captivated. He recognized her raw talent and was determined to mold her into one of the world's best. Elena was equally enchanted by the maestro's brilliance. The two started spending long hours together, perfecting compositions and discussing nuances. The dedication soon turned into an intense passion, not just for music but for each other. Their connection was electric, their duets creating magic that left audiences spellbound. But with passion came obsession. Diego started demanding more and more from Elena, pushing her to her limits. He became possessive, wanting to control every aspect of her musical journey. Elena, once a free spirit, found herself trapped in a cage of Diego's making. Her love for music was now tainted with fear and anxiety. She felt suffocated, torn between her love for the maestro and her need for freedom. One evening, during a particularly intense rehearsal, Elena decided she couldn't take it anymore. Mid-performance, she stopped playing, took a deep breath, and announced her decision to leave the orchestra. The room was silent, the weight of the moment palpable. Diego, unable to handle the rejection, stepped down from his position as conductor, leaving the orchestra and disappearing from the music world entirely. Elena moved to Paris, where she joined a chamber music group. Here, in the city of love, she rediscovered her passion for music, free from fear and constraints. She realized that true passion should elevate, not suffocate. Years later, she heard rumors of Diego teaching music in a small town in Italy. Though their paths never crossed again, Elena often wondered if the maestro had found his redemption, just as she had found her freedom. Their story became a whispered legend in musical circles, a cautionary tale about the dangers of unchecked passion and the importance of finding one's own voice amidst the noise. An ugly creature. The town of Sandale was picturesque, nestled between the rolling green hills and a serene blue lake, where swans would often drift peacefully. Yet, despite its charming facade, Sandale held a dark secret. Legend spoke of the ugly creature that roamed the nearby woods. It was said to be grotesque, with a deformed face, hunched back, and long, spindly fingers. Over the years, it had become the stuff of nightmares for Sandale's children. Parents would caution their young ones, saying, "Don't wander into the woods, or the ugly creature will get you." Clara, a journalist from the city, had heard about the legend and decided to visit Sandale. She wanted to uncover the truth behind the myth, thinking it would make for a compelling story. On her first evening, she attended a gathering at the local inn. Over mugs of ale, older residents shared whispered tales of their encounters with the creature. Each story was more harrowing than the last. Yet Clara noticed inconsistencies. Some spoke of its luminous eyes, others of its blind gaze. Some remembered its chilling howl, while others recalled a mournful, silent creature. The next day, Clara set out into the woods, camera in hand. She moved stealthily, hoping to catch a glimpse of the creature. Hours turned into days, but she found nothing. Just as she was about to give up, Clara stumbled upon a secluded clearing. At the center stood a dilapidated hut. Curiosity piqued, she approached slowly. Inside, she found an old, blind woman, her face marked by age and sorrow, her fingers elongated from years of crafting. The woman introduced herself as Agatha. Agatha, it turned out, had been living in the woods for decades, shunned by society for her appearance. Over time, stories about her had morphed, turning her into the feared ugly creature. She had chosen solitude over the cruel whispers and pointed fingers of the townsfolk. Heartbroken by Agatha's story, Clara decided to change her article's focus. Instead of sensationalizing the legend, she wrote about the dangers of prejudice, the harm caused by unfounded fears, and the human tendency to demonize the unknown. Her piece, titled The Real Ugly Creatures, emphasized that often, the real monsters are not those hiding in the woods but the ones within us, quick to judge and ostracize. Clara's article was published widely, leading to a movement of acceptance in Sandale. Agatha was no longer the feared creature of the woods but a symbol of the town's past mistakes. And as the years went by, she became a cherished elder, her stories and crafts revered by all. In a twist of fate, the legend of the ugly creature became a lesson for generations in Sandale, a reminder of the dangers of judgment and the importance of understanding. In the bustling metropolitan city of Neoterra, skyscrapers seemed to graze the heavens, and lights never dimmed. The streets thrummed with hover cars, drones darted about delivering packages, and virtual screens flashed advertisements at every corner. The progression of technology had brought about an age of convenience and endless possibilities, but for some, it came at a cost. Mr. Leonard, a gentleman of 85 years, stood out like a relic from a bygone era. His attire was simple, a sharp contrast to the holographic wearables that were the trend. He walked with a cane, preferring the rhythm of his own footsteps to the monotony of transport pods. Each morning, without fail, Mr. Leonard would make his way to Brew and Burke's, the last traditional cafe in Neoterra. The cafe, with its wooden beams, paper books, and hand-brewed coffee, was an oasis of the past amidst the futuristic landscape. Inside, Mr. Leonard was greeted with a warm smile from Lily, the young barista. She always had his favorite, a cup of freshly brewed coffee and a slice of homemade lemon pie. Settling into his favorite armchair, Leonard would lose himself in the pages of classics, letting the ambience transport him back to the world he once knew. One day, a young tech guru named Felix, curious about the peculiar cafe, stepped inside. He noticed Mr. Leonard, engrossed in his book, and felt an inexplicable urge to converse with the old man. "Why come here?" sir, when you can experience any reality you wish with the VR sets. Mr. Leonard looked up, smiling kindly. Young man, technology has given us a myriad of experiences, and I won't deny their allure. But sometimes, the most genuine moments are those that aren't augmented or enhanced. The smell of real coffee, the rustle of paper pages, the joy of simple conversation, these are the peaceful old days I cherish. Intrigued, Felix began to visit the cafe more often, forging a deep friendship with Mr. Leonard. They shared stories, bridging the gap between two worlds. Felix spoke of advancements and digital wonders, while Leonard regaled tales of sunlit parks, handwritten letters, and the thrill of waiting for a film to develop. Over time, inspired by the narratives and the serene charm of Brew and Books, Felix created Peaceful Old Days, a space within the virtual realm that replicated the calm and authenticity of bygone days. It became a sanctuary for those seeking respite from the overwhelming digital age, promoting genuine interactions and simple pleasures. And at the heart of this realm sat a replica of Brew and Books, with a virtual Mr. Leonard sharing stories, reminding visitors of the beauty in simplicity, ensuring that the spirit of the peaceful old days lived on, even in the heart of the modern world.